It's Salvaje. I'm back with another Save the World quick tips video. Here are 5 essential tips that I always keep in mind when I'm using the Spectral blade. Tip 1, pylons. The speed pylon and the energy pylon is a must if you want to have a lot of success with the Spectral blade. It's just going to give you more mobility and more energy so that you can use your secondary Spectral blade slashes as often and as frequently as possible. Tip number 2, I always watch spawns for the Spectral blade. It's just a really good weapon. It has a lot of DPS, I guess you could say, so you're able to eliminate massive amounts of health super quickly. So that's why I think that you should not be using the Spectral blade in anywhere other than the spawns. If you are using it within a spawn, that leads me to tip number 3, make sure that you are having really good positioning. For example, if you're not using a ninja, which is something that I recommend that you use if you want to use a Spectral blade, make sure that you always have a way out, because eventually you're going to run out of secondary attacks and you're just going to sort of be stuck. And you're not going to have a way out, which means that you're going to be overwhelmed by Husk and you're probably going to get destroyed. So positioning is really good when it comes down to the Spectral blade. Tip number 4, let's say that you are using a ninja like Anti-Corosera, the best ninja of course for the Spectral blade. Make sure that you're always looking at your minimap when you're going to be doing your secondary attack or when you're spamming your secondary attack. This is a tip that I always use with the Spectral blade and the Mythic Sword. And the reason why I'm always looking at the minimap instead of looking at my screen is because the minimap is going to tell me where a lot of the red dots are at. I want to be hitting as many red dots as possible, or as many enemies as possible, so that I can be constantly regenerating my energy, and so that I can go from one enemy to the next and pretty much just guard the entire spawn by myself. This is one of the reasons why I love the Spectral blade so much, because at high level missions, a lot of teammates sometimes struggle with watching spawns. Sometimes people even waste materials on materials just for trap tunnels. But if you're able to add a lot of value to your teammate in a specific spawn point before they start placing up the traps, trust me, your teammates are going to be really happy about that. And tip number 5, something that I like to do when I'm dealing with high health targets with the Spectral blade, I like to start slicing them up first, and then I like to go for the secondary attack, okay? Because if I start slicing up the targets first and then go for the secondary attack, by the time I go for the secondary attack, sometimes there's going to be a lot of low health targets around me, because they're starting to overwhelm me. So when I go for the secondary attack, I'm able to of course do a lot of damage to the high priority target like a mist monster, and then I'm able to of course do pretty decent finishing damage to the low health targets. So those are 5 essential tips for the Spectral blade. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and remember to use my creator code, and of course subscribe for more Save the World content. Peace out.